573-875-KTGR. The Big Show starts now.
Oh, Brendan's dancing.
Hey.
Brandon's dancing.
What's up?
Oh, man.
Let's go.
Oh, we're hyped again, I guess. I mean, why not? Goodness gracious. Mizzou men's basketball gave you a reason to be hyped again last night. It's the Big Show. Andy and Brendan here, KTGR and the KTGR app.
MIZ, baby.
Thanks for hopping in. Oh, man. Brendan can't contain it today.
I couldn't contain it last night either. I got scolded a little bit for the
reaction.
reaction.
Did you really?
Yeah, I mean, you got two
little kids.
You got a toddler and a newborn. They're both trying to sleep, and you get a little bit amped up about, a couple of things that happened down the stretch. I said I was sorry. I think she understands.
I guess so.
Nobody woke up. I mean, it was fine. We crisis averted.
No harm, no foul, I guess.
No harm, no foul, baby.
But maybe don't do it again. Probably.
Hey,
I'm gonna not choose a side on that one. Just stay out.
If these keep coming down to the wire like that, and you keep winning in this type of fashion, I can't control what happens with that.
Oh, so now you're blaming Mizzou basketball for that, man.
I'm crediting them.
They do deserve a lot of credit for last night's win. 1-point win at Texas A&M. What's it mean? Give us your reactions to it. 573-875-KTGR here on The Big Show. We'll also update our SEC basketball tiers. Framing what happened last night with that, I'm sure. What do we do with Mizzou, and what do we do with the Aggies also? It'll be interesting
to
talk about.
I haven't been as high on the Aggies so far this year as you. I guess if you drop them, then I guess you're saying not so sure what Missouri is, but I don't know. I'm just gonna leave that out there and let you figure that out, because you've been pretty high on them. But we'll talk about it. But last night, I don't think goes on Texas A&M as like a negative for their side. I don't.
I don't think so either. So we'll see what that does to the SEC basketball tiers at 425. We'll also talk about Mizzou got a big road win last night in men's hoops. Can it happen in women's hoops tonight? Can Kelly Harper go back into Knoxville and win there? We're going to find out soon. We are going to end a little bit early to get you coverage for that starting at 5:15. Mizzou women's basketball at number 22, Tennessee. So stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, call or text us with your hoops takes today, 875-5847. You can tweet us at KTGR Big Show. We're live on YouTube right now, youtube.com/@KTGR Sports, where you can see our lack of containing the excitement. Also on Facebook, facebook.com/KTGR Big Show.
Now, the Big Show's Big Deal.
It was a big deal that Mizzou got that win last night. 86-85. Mizzou goes to Texas A&M and wins for their third consecutive conference victory. Career night for Trent Pierce. 23 points on 10 of 15 shooting, really pacing the Tiger offense. Tio Barrett also excellent, 17 points. But Sean Phillips Jr. down the stretch in the final half minute has the go-ahead lob dunk from Mark Mitchell to put the Tigers up 1. And then on the last possession has the game-sealing block defensively on A&M as time expired to help the Tigers secure that victory. They're now 7-4 in SEC play in a 5-way tie for 4th place in the conference standings. And they're also the last team in the NCAA tournament, according to ESPN's Joe Nardi today. That's the Big Show's Big Deal on this 12th day of February, 2026. Give us a call or a text here at 573-875-KTGR if you want to react to Mizzou Hoops getting it done at A&M this past evening. Wow.
Wow is right. It was a back and forth game. Missouri was able to find a lead and find ways to hold it despite Texas A&M shooting. They shot the lights out, especially in the first half. The number of three-pointers that just kept falling for the Aggies, some of them, not even that necessarily great looks, but they were dropping at a disproportionate rate for a long, long while in that game. And Missouri with basically 7 guys, Andy. We said it'd be basically 7 guys, but it was really just the 7 guys that they leaned on and found a way to get over the hump, despite Texas A&M basically full court pressure the entire game, which was
that's what they do.
For sure.
That's what they do.
But they, and you would think even more so it would be to their benefit against a team that's running 7 guys, and that's really all they've got. Despite that, Mizzou was finding ways as the game went along to break that press and to get the easy looks to come. It took some time for them to settle in with that, but certainly when they were making their hay in the second half, they started finding a little bit more comfort in the chaos when it came to breaking the press and getting the easy looks that should result in that. Because for a while they were getting it across half court by the skin of their teeth, but then kind of taking a breath. So A&M was still able to set up its defense. And it's like, you don't really benefit from the risk they're taking by pressuring. But they eventually were able to really start getting some bunnies to go.
But you dragged them back to your tempo, and that's what happened with A&M last night. A&M, last 3 games for them, possessions in the game were 72, 78, and 77. That's the number of possessions that both teams got. That's a lot. That's kind of where they've lived a lot of this season. Around the 70s range is where they can expect to get their possession count. Last night, 66. That's what Mizzou wants to do to you, to at least the teams that want to go fast. A&M was trying to speed up Mizzou. I think Mizzou actually did really well to harken back to what has worked for them, which, yeah, they can get out on the fast break, and they definitely outplayed A&M in the fast break department last night, but they also have the size to get into their half-court offense and then be able to feed Mark Mitchell and, heck, even Sean Phillips last night with how he was continuing to develop the offensive profile that Mizzou was trying to get out of him at the start of the year. And the offensive rebounding that went along with that too. Brendan, at one point in the second half, like midway through the second half, they had more offensive rebounds than A&M had rebounds. I mean, it was excellent.
Yeah, there was a couple of spots where A&M had extended possessions because of their offensive rebounds, but overall, I mean, you can't ignore that Missouri was getting their opportunities and just, crashing the glass and finding ways to keep involved in plays. And certainly at the end of the game, it all adds up. And I don't think we talked about it yesterday that you couldn't really come into this and have an area where you were extremely deficient and find still a way to be able to win this game. And I would say that like the free throws were, not great, 9 for 15, but didn't shoot a ton of them. Neither did A&M. Just not a ton of fouls called in this game. When A&M's jacking up threes on every possession, you don't probably see as many fouls called. I think that's the explanation there. 3-point shooting wasn't great, 7 for 21. So like there was nothing though that totally tanked you. And what you just talked about when it comes to the rebounding, I think made up for any other deficits that might have been there.
875 KTGR, Mizzou gets the win at A&M last night. What do you think about it? It was more of that catch up in the second half of like, oh, nothing called in the first half. And then, let's call 10 fouls in 4 minutes. And make sure it was there. By the way, Pat Adams was there last night.
I'm tired of it.
Coincidence?
Surely there are other referees in this league. How is it that we have him every single game?
I don't know.
I don't get it.
I don't know.
I don't understand.
Mizzou did overcome that. But like, look, that I boil it down to this. A&M's not a bad defensive team. They're better at offense, but they're not bad defensively. Came in and they're still today around the 50s when it comes to defensive efficiency in the country.
Well, and they were in the 40s before
40s last night.
Game.
Yeah. There
so
you go.
They dropped a little bit because of the things that Mizzou did well against them. Which
you,
I think
you went on the road
meaningful.
to a top 50 defense in a harsh environment, and you scored 86 points, and Mark Mitchell only had 9 of them. But
it's like you don't even really notice it because everything that was happening the way that it was supposed to. When it comes to the way that Missouri was executing offensively. And he got his assists. He got some rebounds.
8 assists.
His 8 assists. I mean, that tells you they had a plan and executed it because if that's not the player that Mark Mitchell is, you're probably not able to win that game. But he was taking what was there and was willing to and able to execute that, even if it didn't mean it like a 15 or 20-point night like we're used to seeing from him when we say, hey, big game from Mark Mitchell. It was a big game for Mark Mitchell. It just happened in a little bit of a different way.
Call or text us at 875-KTGR. Mizzou gets a big win at A&M last night. Let's go out to the KTGR hotline now. Hello, who's this?
This is Aaron.
Aaron, what you got on?
What a game, boys. What a game. It was, it was just great shooting on both teams. That was just some phenomenal shots made last night. One of them that sticks out to me was T.O. Barrett, who is the dude. He flashes into the paint, gets yet another rebound, dribbles out to the right wing, and then does a fake crossover dribble with his left hand and takes it to the bucket. But you kind of stole my thunder earlier. It's the rebounding. All of a sudden, this Missouri team is becoming a pretty dominant rebounding team. And that's kind of something that I haven't seen much out of Gates teams in the past. I don't know what's gotten into them. I don't know what they're doing different, but it's a good thing to see. And this was a big game. So my hopes are high, boys.
Hey, they should be. Appreciate
Mine
the call,
too.
Aaron, here on the Big Show, KTGR.
As scary as that might be.
I mean,
mine are high too.
It is kind of, there's reason to be. On the rebounding front, I boil it down to conference play. Things have looked different for them since non-con play ended. And so far in the SEC, they are 5th in offensive rebounding percentage and 6th in essentially opposing offensive rebounding percentage. So like they're 6th in the country, or 6th in the SEC in clearing their defensive rebounds, top half in both. They're not hurting themselves on the rebounding anymore. And I think everyone is getting involved. It's not just Sean Phillips. It's not just Mark Mitchell. I see Anthony Robinson getting in there. I see T.O. Barrett getting in there. It is different.
Trent Pierce, 23-9.
Yeah, man.
He was unbelievable. He was
big.
When I said I'm relying on the main four guys to contribute, T.O. Barrett is the dude. I am just loving watching his development. And I know we might have to amend the statement, Andy, that Mizzou goes as far as T.O. Barrett takes them this year, because he's been, look.
Maybe. That's fair.
He's rising to the occasion. Anthony Robinson was in the role that he was in last night and contributed with 5 assists, tacked on 4 rebounds, wasn't in a major scoring role, but I didn't mind Anthony Robinson, but it's not like it showed up in the way that we kind of thought at the beginning of the season it would have to for them to be successful. No, he filled his role last night, as did pretty much all 7 guys that played a role in this game. But Trent Pierce we're seeing him lock in, and untapped potential is becoming that tapped potential. Some of the games he's playing, it's not been every game. Now, if he can find that gear of consistency, that's where I think really you find some upward mobility for this team. But what he did last night was carry the team in his scoring production.
Well, he didn't rely on just his 3-point shot last night, which he was also 3 of 6 from 3. And when he is hitting that shot, he's at his most dangerous. But he was searching for other shots. He was crashing the offensive glass. He was creating extra rebounds or extra opportunities for himself there. And all in all, Brendan, 14-2 on second chance points, 56-28 on points in the paint.
They dominated
That's doubling
the
up.
Game. They won by a point because of A&M shooting how many 3-pointers they made,
and shooting them pretty well. They were 45%. That was awesome.
They were 15 of 33. The Aggies were, and I think a lot of that was skewed to the first half when it felt like they were 11.
Oh, they hit everything. Yeah,
it was unbelievable. And I think at one point they said, "Wow, 9 different guys have made a 3 for A&M." It's like, no kidding. It feels like it. A&M was 12 for 15 at the line. They got the advantage there. You can run down, and other than Missouri's execution with 2-pointers, which is a lot of that T.O. Barrett driving, Trent Pierce just shot making, Sean Phillips dunking, which he had a missed dunk at one point. And, the fact that, and I want to give credit where it's due as well, because I don't think we're telling accurately the story of this game if we're not mentioning Dennis Gates was on it last night.
He's awesome.
So when it comes to some of those plays that you draw up coming out of a timeout or a sideline inbound or whatever the case may be, that play to secure the go-ahead bucket, the way they executed it was brilliant. And Sean Phillips is the guy that, he's not the answer to the question, in my opinion. If you just said in a vacuum, who do you want taking the final shot or getting the look or having to come through with a fluid offensive motion, he wouldn't be my first choice. But they trusted him and said, this is going to work. And this was the moment. And all he had to do was flush it home. That was brilliantly run and executed. And Dennis Gates gets a ton of credit for the way that he kind of found his ways to inject, his own spin onto the game with some of that on the out of bounds plays.
Yeah, that was very well done. Mizzou in a game that had 14 lead changes and seemingly like 7 in the last 3 minutes.
It was crazy.
I mean,
and by the way,
they were trading buckets.
There was no under 4 timeout. They just kept playing. Like
it came with like a minute 20 or something like that.
They had to call a timeout.
Yeah,
that was the next stoppage.
And then they got to the under 4. Yeah,
which is right. But that's why it felt so unnerving, because it's happening so quickly. The clock is trimming out, and you're ahead, you're behind. That was a wild ride, and I thought this game might end without a stoppage. Like, you get 3 more possessions. Somebody was calling a timeout, obviously, but it was hectic, and that's fun, man. It's fun to be a fan in a game like that. It's obviously, especially when your team comes out on top of it on the road. It's a potentially season-altering win, because now the sky really does sort of feel like the limit, and the margin. I want them to make an error, but you've bought yourself a little bit more margin for error.
Oh, for sure. Now you're in the tournament field, according to Lenardi.
Last team in.
Skin of their teeth.
Playing a bubble team on Saturdays.
Exactly.
So
yes. That's
no rest for the weary, but
that's a big one. Obviously,
huge.
Mizzou can really put the clamps down on that type of status if they win that game, and it's sold out. And fans are going to want to see a team that they're hyped about now. Show it to them, right?
Yeah.
In a game that they'll probably be favorites. I think it might be coin flip territory still.
Yeah.
Like, let's see here. Texas, as according to Ken Pom, it's at 49%. 49% chance for Mizzou to win it.
I'm going to predict it'll be Mizzou -1.5.
Probably.
The spread comes out.
Yeah.
Because they are at home. They are riding high a little bit. Texas is good, man. And if they play their A game, it's going to be another battle. But I have to go back and amend something I said yesterday. You were on it, and I obviously didn't know how the game was going to play out. But you said if they come up with this win, that it would be their most impressive road win of the season. And I said, yeah, but Kentucky, I mean, they're ranked. Look how they're playing now. But if we're honest, Kentucky wasn't playing like that when Missouri beat them.
Yeah.
Texas A&M played pretty well last night.
They did.
They shot it well. That game wasn't won because of something A&M did poorly. It was won because of the things Missouri did successfully. And for that reason, it is their most impressive, I'm just going to say, win of the season. I don't think A&M's the best opponent that they have beaten, but that's their best, most complete win of the season because they didn't have anything handed to them. And I think when you look at the Kentucky and Florida games, there's a little bit of that going on, and they took what was given to them and credit to them for it. But last night they had to take the whole thing because A&M was not relenting in that game.
And neither team really changing as far as the KenPom metrics either. Mizzou is still 52 today. They were 52 yesterday before the game. A&M dropped a couple of spots to 35. Like, I think both teams, I'm a little shocked at the Mizzou one. I think later in the week they'll be a little higher as other teams start to lose.
A weird underreaction.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm
know
not
that
sure
you win by a
that.
point, but they weren't.
They outperformed the margin by like 7 or 8 points, right?
They were projected by not only the point spread, but KenPom to lose by at least a handful on the road. So that is weird, but I'm not going to get too hung up on it. I think people are starting to pay attention to Missouri now. And by the way, if the season were to end today, before anybody else plays another game, you would be in the double bye. You would be in fourth, breaking a number of ties.
Yeah,
to get there.
Well, the thing is, like, there aren't too many bullet points in the tie-breaking scenarios for the basketball because everybody plays everybody. So the 4 and 5 way ties can be a little bit easier broken because everybody plays everybody. At this point, Mizzou, however, has not played Vanderbilt. They have not played Tennessee, a couple teams that they're tied with. So you can't necessarily use that. So you go to the next one, which is what's your record against the 1 seed? And guess what?
They beat them.
Mizzou beat Florida. And nobody else that Mizzou is tied with, they've all played Florida. They've all lost to Florida. So that is working in Mizzou's favor should they be tied with another team that is, in that territory. And that's a good thing going for Mizzou here.
And right now you can say, well, there's 7 games left, right? There's not, what are the odds that they're going to still be tied? there could be a multi-team tie for 4th, 5th, and 6th. And and if it goes down to where it gets to that next tiebreak tier, you're going to have it compared to what presumably those other teams are going to have. Can't wait for some of these games coming up. Like, I was dreading a little bit the notion of the schedule getting more difficult because it felt sort of like, oh boy, it's going to be where we're exposed a little bit. But now it doesn't really feel that way anymore. It feels like our best against anybody else's best. I'm not saying you're going to win every game, but there's going to be some competition and it's going to be compelling. And you could pull off some of these wins, especially the ones at home. They just did that last night on the road. That wasn't even a home game. You get into the Mizzou Arena environment, playing Texas, playing Vanderbilt, playing Tennessee. I can't look at those games anymore, even the Arkansas game, and say, well, yeah, it's probably not going to go our way. You can win 2 of those 4, and that's really, I think, all it would take to really put together a nice stamp on your resume.
Here's the thing, though. How many more of Mizzou's best game do they have in them for the next month, right?
I wasn't worried about it before when I thought that they were going to just be kind of a middling team. But now that I saw what they were able to do against that pressure last night and somehow do it with only 7, I do worry about what's the next game look like and what's the game after that look like and the one after that look like. I didn't care about the depth thing, and now I kind of do because they were brilliant last night. Can they hold up that intensity level and keep their legs for the stretch that's coming up? It is going to be a question. It is. I was trying to push it down, but now I'm like, okay, that's going to be the question. I think as soon as Saturday against an NCAA tournament caliber team, do you have your legs for that one? Because you're going to need them, but they've got 7 dudes they're rolling. It's unique. It's fun to watch while it's going, but man, there's some issues that could come up from that. Again,
not necessarily a bad thing, right? That they're playing 7 guys really that they trust. I mean, other college basketball teams do that. I mean, ideally you want 8, but 7 can work if you've got your right 7 and they all fit together and they're playing at their best. But if we're talking about like teams like Kentucky and Duke and UConn that roll that way, like they can roll that way because their 7 are like all 4 and 5 star guys. Mizzou's got a collection of some too, but they've had to kind of scrape and claw a little bit more to get to their position. And so how much will it hold up for when you take on Arkansas twice and you have Vanderbilt and Tennessee still left and road games that are, not going to be easy at Mississippi State and at Oklahoma, just on the basis of they're later in the year and you've got to find ways to stay healthy through all of that. And then the SEC tournament and everything else. So, I mean, it's something to be wary of, but last night raises the ceiling. Like, shows you again what they're capable of. They showed you a glimpse of it early January. Yeah, there were some disappointing moments since then, but they are, again, still this type of team that can get that type of win. Just a matter of how consistent can you be.
Yeah, and how consistent can you be when you know that it's these 7? And like, to your point, you'd like 8, but when you have 7 on the roster that are healthy, I think you're better off rolling 7 than trying to force rotations that aren't making as much sense. Like, I think Dennis Gates tried like hell to find a way to get it to be a deeper rotation. But I think he got to the point in the season where he said, cards are on the table. These are our best 7. And this is who flows together and who gets it and who there's not a drop off when we have to make a substitution. Like, it's just going to have to be what it is. And I hope they're up to the task, because if they are, it's going to be a whole heck of a lot of fun, but we'll see. There's going to be a game in here. I can sense that there's going to be one game at least where they lose by double digits because they just didn't have their legs that night. And I hope that's not the case. But I'm bracing for that, because I think when you're living on the edge like this, that's something that could happen. Hopefully it doesn't, but the short rotation will be an interesting thing to follow. And do they look like they've got their same energy that they looked like last night? Because last night they had it in spades.
Give us your thoughts, Mizzou fans. Tigers went on the road and beat Texas A&M in men's hoops. Ceiling raising victory, if you ask me. Give us your thoughts on it at 875 KTGR. We'll preview what could be a massive win if they're able to get it tonight for Mizzou women's basketball at Tennessee. That's coming up at 5:15. But up next, we'll update our SEC men's basketball tiers. And what did this Mizzou A&M game do to those tiers? We'll get to that next.
Breaking down the Tigers, Cardinals, Chiefs, and more like no one else. The Big Show continues next on KTGR.
Hi, everyone. Andy Humphrey here for Advanced Tree Solutions. Wintertime is when your trees are barren, obviously. No leaves yet. We'll get to that very soon. But you still need to be aware of how your trees are growing during this time, especially if they're hanging over those power lines, right? That can be dangerous. And so now that there aren't leaves on the branches yet, now's a good time to get tree pruning done so that they can be safe once we see that growth back. Eric and his team at Advanced Tree Solutions, they are excellent to work with. They've come to my yard before, taken a tree out that was dead. They're honest, upfront, and trained, and they know exactly how to take care of your trees. Because, look, the power company's not going to know how to do it. Most lawn services, they don't know how to really take care of them. Eric and his team does. Go to advancedtreesolutionsllc.com. You can contact them to book for tree pruning and also look at the other services they have so that you can get ready for springtime at advancedtreesolutionsllc.com. Give your trees the care they deserve with Advanced Tree Solutions.
This is the year she gets an upgraded diamond, the year that dad finally gets his retirement watch, and the year that your daughter graduates, so you give her the necklace she's always dreamed of. Family Pawn is not your traditional pawn shop, but they are your secret to saving big on stunning jewelry for every occasion. Family Pawn, where you'll find timeless treasures for a fraction of the cost. FamilyPawn.com.
Not your traditional pawn shop. Family Pawn.
Michael Agnew here with API Project Fitness. I understand that life is hard, and if you're soft, it will squish you. You must find a way to be hard. Armor yourself up mentally and physically and emotionally. Our goal is to help you find your inner strength and hardness. The difference between strength and weakness is choice. With our group fitness classes and personal training and open gym, the choice is yours. Choose strength. Find us at apiprojectfitness.com or call us at 573-268-6944 to make an appointment.
So, Mr. Fancy Dancy Sports Car Dude, you say you were distracted by a raccoon feasting in the road? Okay. How about the fact that you were going way too fast when there's like 5 inches of snow on the ground? Nice ditch you got there, bro. Now you need a save, a savior, a do-over. Find your phone and just Google I-70 Towing. They're Mid-Missouri's go-to crew for slide-offs. When your winter world seems to have been wrecked, call the team they hope you never have to meet. I70towing.com. A raccoon. Just ridiculous. You're a merchant of all things that are man. Firearms, fishing, cars, food, sports. Yeah, the kind of stuff every man always needs more of. So show it off at the Mecca of Man. The 2026 Como Man Show, Saturday, March 14th at the Northeast Event Center where the Boone County Fair is held. It's the best and most fun way to show every man they need what you got. Seriously, by showing them. Bring your best stuff, show it off, and have a blast. For more info on being a vendor at the Man Show, go to ComoManShow.com.
Hey, y'all, it's Molly from Billiards. What happens when 2 pharmacists, a restaurant dude, and a math whiz walk into a bar? They buy it, and those 4 awesome people are the new owners of Billiards. Like a good Oscar speech, we don't have enough time to thank everybody. But if you've been part of our journey, we just want to say thanks for boogieing on down.
Boogie on down for burgers and beer. Billiards, home Broadway. Yeah.
Last honey, I'm coming home.
Your daily fix of local sports lives here. This is The Big Show on KTGR.
Daniel texting in, massive win last night. Phillips is starting to come on at the right time, and my gosh, Barrett and Pierce are just game changers these days. I also got in trouble last night because I was so hyped. My kids didn't wake up either, so all good there. Big one on Saturday.
Pretty good. Barrett is so fun to watch. Trent Pierce was so fun to watch last night. Sean Phillips came through. I mean, the final points on the offensive end, the block on the defensive end, you know, the visions of the end of the Georgia game going through my mind when he didn't get it done defensively, and sort of a similar situation. It was moving to his left in that instance versus moving to his right this time. But he kept the footing, kept positioning, and swatted it away.
And
denied.
I think in that Georgia game, I still give a little more credit to Millender for the play he made too. Like I think he was more built to have that type of body control to get it up and under Phillips.
Yeah.
AG, I don't think it seemed that wasn't the plan to go to him there, and he kind of called the audible on it and tried to take it to the basket. I just don't know if it was the best approach by him. But again, not to take away from Phillips, because he did exactly what he needed to do there.
Yeah.
Wall up, don't hover over the guy with your arms, because they'll call that, and just stay straight up, got contact on the ball. Yeah, I thought it was very well done. Yeah, and A&M probably hoped for something a little bit better in the front court with 4 seconds left, but is what it is.
And the reason they were in that position was because they were granted a timeout where I don't even know if
didn't have the ball. Like they didn't. No, man. Like, yeah, that was just.
They never had it. I'm like, surely it's just an out of bounds our ball.
Not just that, but as Sam points out, obvious goaltend that was missed.
Oh, the goaltend! Oh my gosh, I forgot about the goaltend.
The goaltend, a phantom offensive foul on Mark Mitchell. His arm was being grabbed, and then he gets called for the offensive foul, and that was
credit to the broadcast. They even said that's what it looked like happened.
They pointed it out.
The goaltend drove me nuts, and then my heart's pounding out of my chest. I'm like, they got the stop. But now somehow A&M's, it's a stoppage and they're still going to have the ball. So they get like another try at it. They never possessed the ball to call that timeout.
And I wasn't even quite sure it wasn't out of bounds either. I don't think we got a replay on it.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Oh,
a lot
man.
going on there.
That was, Mizzou overcame some things and still got it done.
One of the most satisfying Mizzou basketball watches in a long time.
Oh yeah.
In a long time for some of the things that they did and that they overcame.
And look, heart stopping towards the end, I'm sure, with the pace of how it was going.
Yeah,
both teams trading leads, and Mizzou was able to get the last stop. That was so key. And Dennis Gates had his team well prepared for both moments.
Yep.
Like the final possession they had and the final possession A&M had. So hats off to him for that. He deserves a lot of credit today. Players deserve a lot of credit, and we'll see what happens on Saturday night. Like, again, it is not in the sense that it tanks your season if you lose. Like, you won this game, and so this gives you the grace to potentially lose this one. But vibes, man,
keep a leg up on it.
Exactly.
Don't have to go right back to chasing the season again.
Right.
Demand and conquer the season. That's what they have an opportunity to do, is to really be in the driver's seat.
All right, 875-KTGR, give us a call or text. Let's update our SEC basketball tiers.
Let's do it. Alabama and Florida are still in the top tier for me.
I don't think I had
Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt should not be there. I don't think I had Bama at the top tier. Did I?
You did not have Bama. You had Florida and Vandy. I had all
I
three.
Still had Vandy there. Oh, okay.
You did, along with Florida, and I'm keeping Florida. I'm keeping Bama, and I'm going to have to drop Vandy. The loss to Oklahoma, and then they did bounce back and beat Auburn on Tuesday. But the Oklahoma thing I'm going to ding them for. I don't think they're quite in the same tier anymore as Bama and Florida.
Okay, yeah, I'm dropping Vanderbilt too, but I'm not. Florida's my only team in the top tier. I think they are pretty clearly the best team in the SEC right now.
I think Bama's really good too, but I would say Florida would be the best team. Yeah, I just think there's more Florida in Bama than there is kind of Bama dropping down to that next year for me, at least for right now.
Yeah. And Bama had a good week, even throughout, the Charles Bediako stuff.
Yeah.
I think you could make the argument that their offense at least looks a little bit better. Maybe, potentially.
Yeah, I mean, they're putting up 90s like it's easy. So
yeah, they still are very dangerous there. Went to Ole Miss last night and beat them by 19, even though, amazingly, they had a former professional European player. Still beat them by 19. Wow.
How they managed that.
I mean, golly. Well, I guess Nate Oates had nothing to worry about. Yeah, so Alabama second tier for sure. Vanderbilt's there. We still have Kentucky, I think, and Arkansas there too.
I have Kentucky, Arkansas. I guess the teams we would be looking to scrub, if any. Auburn had a 2-loss week. Obviously, we know A&M and get our thoughts in on Tennessee as well. Auburn lost to Bama and Vandy, so it's not like they had a terrible week, but you're once you get to go up against these teams that you're similar to, we're gonna have to find a way to parse it all out. Tennessee had lost to Kentucky on the road by 3. Kentucky's looking really dangerous, so I'm keeping Kentucky for sure. I don't know how much I punished Tennessee, though, even for that loss at Kentucky. 3-point loss.
I don't think by much. At Kentucky, 3-point loss, I think that's within the margin. I mean,
yeah.
I'd say if Tennessee's still there, keep them there.
Here's the one I'm going to move. Last week I did have A&M, and they were in their own tier.
Okay.
They were tier 3, and I just basically said you're not welcome in the club of tier 2.
Wow.
I feel right about that still. I'm going to drop Auburn down to join A&M in the third tier.
Interesting.
Because I think those are 2 tournament caliber teams, but and not bubble teams either. They're two tournament teams, but they're not out of the woods yet. I think in either case, they would both need to make sure they get some requisite wins lined up. And I might be inclined to have Missouri hop right over Texas and Georgia and join them in that third tier.
Ooh,
I know,
really?
I know. Kind of like a gesture of goodwill, like, I'm giving you this, but don't let me down, sort of vibe.
Man.
And I don't know that the brackets reflect that. I think Georgia still considered in
Georgia's
higher than Mizzou.
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
I just don't believe it. I can't believe we lost to them, first of all. But they lost by 20 hosting Florida. We hosted Florida, had a different result. It's okay, no big deal. I mean, Georgia's win over the week was LSU. Okay, yeah, we should have beat them, but it is what it is. Georgia goes to Oklahoma on Saturday and then to Kentucky on Tuesday. I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now they're losing both those games. And when we get here next week, I won't have to drop Georgia as far because I've already got them. I've got them low enough. So, yeah, I'm going to go Texas A&M, Auburn, Missouri is my third tier. Mizzou goes from tier 5 to tier 3. I'm a believer now. What can I say?
Okay, so let me settle my second tier first. I've got Alabama, okay. I've got Vanderbilt, I've got Kentucky, I've got Arkansas, I've got Tennessee. A&M probably still can't be here. Auburn probably still can't be here. Man.
So they both drop one tier?
I think so.
All right, so let me adjust that on my board here. You've still got 5 teams in tier 2.
Yes.
Vandy, Arkansas, Tennessee, Bama, Kentucky.
Yeah.
Now let's scrub your third tier. Auburn and Texas A&M probably land there. How do you reconcile those 2 teams right now with Georgia and Texas? Mentioned Georgia.
I think they're above both of them.
Really? Okay.
A&M and Auburn. Yes, I believe so.
But do you have to create a new tier almost here?
I think so. Yeah. This would be my third tier, A&M and Auburn. For what you're describing, I think they're in the same bucket. Very early in the season, very strong wins. Auburn, in the case of them, like they're an under 500 SEC team right now. They're only 14-10 overall, but they have some really good non-con points. They have some strong wins, and their only losses in non-con were to like top 10 teams.
Dude, the pelts on the wall argument for Missouri, though, is getting pretty loud.
No, I get it.
Consider that Missouri has also beaten Auburn. They've beaten A&M now. They've beaten Kentucky. They've beaten that Florida team. If they can squeak out, I'm going to call it Vandy, Arkansas, Tennessee. They've got 4 games against those 3 teams. If you can win 2 of the 4, you're in a really, really good spot for not just getting in the tournament, but to have a seeding that you're going to be proud of.
I think it's very fair.
That would be some quad 1 bonanza.
Oh, yeah.
At that point.
Yeah, Mizzou still has some chances at real upward trajectory. If they have more of their best game like they had last night in them for the final few weeks or so. Not going to do it yet, though. I'm going to keep A&M and Auburn in the same tier at tier 3. And then I think before this last week, I think I had Mizzou below Texas and Georgia. Is that correct?
You did. You had, and we both had it that way.
Yeah.
In a tier with Ole Miss.
Okay, so I'm going to have them join them. I'm going to have Texas, Georgia, and Mizzou all in the same tier there. And then everybody else.
For how long are we going? Which I think is reasonable. Like it's the same as I have, except for I've got that Missouri team up one tier. I'm still going to leave Texas and Georgia in the same tier by their lonesome, which is tier 4. And I guess the question becomes, how long do we continue pretending that Ole Miss is anything other than with all these other kind of bottom tier teams? Another 2-loss week for the Rebels.
Well, I'm not saying that Ole Miss should be in this tier. I'm not saying.
Well, no, but like that's the next team that was on our list.
Next one,
like,
I got.
They were both in a tier above the bottom tier,
right?
For both of us, we had Ole Miss because they were next to Missouri.
Well,
and now it's like if we're moving Missouri up, Ole Miss is sitting there in limbo.
Yeah,
I don't think they belong in limbo. I think they just belong. I gotta move them down and see.
Yeah.
They've lost 6 in a row. I mean, I get it. It's a tough league, but come on.
Can't square that. All that Oklahoma has done this week is beat Vanderbilt. So
wait a minute. Yeah.
They did not play the last couple days. They were off in midweek. So, I mean, that's,
I'm going to do it. Oklahoma will be the team in a tier by themselves. They're not up to Texas and Georgia.
Oh, okay.
But I'm going to say Oklahoma, show me something maybe a little bit more than what Mississippi State, South Carolina, LSU, and Ole Miss are capable of. I can get on board with that. That's a heck of a win. I mean, I don't know truly to this point. I still don't know how that happened, but it did happen. Yeah. And so I'm going to give them a little credit. I'm remembering that they took Missouri to the wire as well. They've had some results at this point, but they're 2-9. South Carolina and LSU are 2-9. Mississippi State and Mississippi are 3-8. So like that's a 5-pack. I would be justified if I just said they're all 5 together. But I'm going to go recency bias and give Oklahoma a little bit of credit. And I'm projecting. I think they're going to beat Georgia at home this Saturday.
Wow. I don't think so.
Okay.
I actually, all 5 of those teams are the same. They're all the same.
This is fair. And this is a week where I'm going out on a limb in a couple of ways.
Yeah.
I'm going out on the limb for Missouri. I'm going out on a limb for Oklahoma. Both of y'all I need to win on Saturday to make my tiers look shiny.
Need some justification there for that.
Yep.
But those are our SEC basketball tiers. 875 KTGR.
If I may.
Yeah.
There's 6 SEC teams in the top 2 tiers. Tier 3 would be A&M and Auburn. That would be 7 and 8. If I didn't have Missouri in tier 3, it would reflect Missouri as the 9th best team in the league at best. And I recall hearing that they're tied for 4th in the standings. So,
well,
there you go.
5-way tie for 4th. I mean, so that encompasses 9 teams. I mean, it's still within that realm.
How do you view the world? Are you tied for 4th or are you tied for 9th?
Yeah.
We're going to find out.
Either way. Oh, boy. It's all about perspective here on the Big Show, KTGR and the KTGR apps. Tell us what your SEC basketball tiers would be if you had to tier the teams at this point. Look, right now, Mizzou would be the number 4 seed in the SEC.
Their biggest game of the season is Saturday night. It's their biggest game of the season. Full stop.
Wow.
I said it before the win last night, and it's still true. Winning last night doesn't change that. It's a biggie. You get to 8-4 in conference play. Even if you don't go 2-2 against some of those big boys, you can go 1-3 against the big boys and probably drop one of the 2 road games against Oklahoma and Mississippi State and still get in and not have your resume really hindered in any way, because a lot of those losses you'll take are going to be pretty respectable. Saturday is the one that if you lose it, it's not a bad loss per se, but when you start getting put up against a Texas in a committee room, that's a win that you're going to want to have. You want that one in hand.
Yep. Give us your thoughts on that as Mizzou gets closer to a big game on Saturday, 573-875-5847. Under the bus coming up next. I'd recommend that White Sox GM Chris Getz actually watches tape on the players that he acquires. That's next.
Now, your local Sports Center update on your total sports station, KTGR.
Good afternoon. I'm Andy Humphrey. This Sports Center update is with Lee's Tire Company. If it's round and rubber, Lee's sells it. Go to leestirecompany.com. Massive win for Mizzou men's basketball last night. The Tigers went to Texas A&M and grabbed an 86-85 victory. Career night for Trent Pierce, 23 points, 9 rebounds. Sean Phillips Jr. had clutch moments in the final half minute. The go-ahead dunk to put the Tigers ahead by 1, and then the game-sealing block defensively as time expired. Mizzou is now in a 5-way tie for 4th place in the SEC standings. They're also the last team in the NCAA tournament, according to ESPN's Joe Lunardi's bracketology. Tigers take on Texas, another bubble team, on Saturday at 7:30 at a sold-out Mizzou Arena. Mizzou women's basketball faces number 22 Tennessee on the road tonight. It'll be the first trip back to Knoxville for Mizzou's head coach Kelly Harper, facing her former team and alma mater for the first time. Tip-off set for 5:30, pregame at 5:15 right here on KTGR. Mizzou wrestling tonight has senior day. They take on Oklahoma at the Hearn Center. Get started at 6:30. Your ABC 17 Storm Track forecast is with Steve's Pest Control. Remember, you've got a friend in the pest control business, and your problem will be solved. It's not just a guarantee. It's a personal promise from Steve. Steve'sPestControl.com.
I'm ABC 17 Storm Track Chief Meteorologist Jessica Hafner. I'm tracking mostly clear skies tonight as temperatures drop back into the low to mid 30s. Tomorrow we'll have more sunshine. It's beautiful. We'll see a high near 61. Then rain chances return early Saturday and stick around throughout the entire day. Morning lows will fall to about 40 and we'll only see highs around 52. I'm ABC 17 Storm Track Chief Meteorologist Jessica Hafner, and that's your ABC 17 Storm Track forecast on your total sports station, KTGR.
Ready for all the chili you can handle? The Rootin' Tootin' Chili Cook-Off, benefiting the Boys and Girls Club of Columbia, is rolling into the Wyndham Executive Center in Columbia on February 21st. Teams compete with their best bowls of chili, wild costumes, and decked-out booths. Bring your appetite, vote for your favorites, and find out who wins. All in support of Mid-Missouri kids. Don't miss the Rootin' Tootin' Chili Cook-Off, Saturday, February 21st. Grab your tickets now at KTGR.com or the KTGR app.
What's new in the candy kitchen?
Valentine's Day is this Saturday. You waited until the last minute to find a gift? Perfect. This is Mike with the Candy Factory reminding you that our famous chocolate-covered strawberries are available now. Fresh, juicy, sweet strawberries double-dipped in the Candy Factory's special blend of pure milk, delicious dark, and creamy white chocolate in half-pound and one-pound gift boxes. Be a part of Columbia's Valentine's Day tradition and give the gift of the Candy Factory's famous chocolate-covered strawberries. We'll see you at the corner of 7th and Cherry Streets in downtown Columbia.
It was 1 p.m. on a Monday when the phone rang. Brian Ware Plumbing and Restoration answered the call. It was a panicked family with a mouse problem. Well, a mouse/plumbing problem. Their toilet was more backed up than the connector at 63 and I-70. But Brian's team eventually plucked out the problem. It was a mouse, but like the computer kind, which the family then asked if they could keep afterwards. We didn't ask why. Better call Brian and unplug your plumbing problems. BrianWarePlumbing.com.
Life has many sweet sounds. Whether it's being enchanted by the coo of a baby, enthralled by the refrain of a favorite song, or even enlightened by a celebration, hearing connects, informs, and engages us with the world. At Hearing Aid Consultants, helping people hear better is our passion. Set your hearing baseline now so you don't miss the sweet sounds of life.
Hearing Aid Consultants in Almec Repair Lab. We are here for you today so you can hear tomorrow. HearingAidConsultants.com.
You know your favorites. Now it's time to put them on the map. Nominations are open for Inside Columbia Magazine's Best of Columbia 2026. Now through March 1st. Nominate the businesses and places you love, including Best Pizza, Best Bar, Best Chiropractor, Best Insurance Agent, and Best Home Repair and Remodeling. You can nominate once per day, so come back and support the businesses you love most. Best of Columbia 2026 starts with you. Nominate today at InsideColumbia.net.
Would you care for some nightmare fuel? It's 5 a.m., and while you're still shaking off the cobwebs from the previous night's snooze, something else is lurking in another web. Time for a shower. Reach down to start the water, and it's a spider. 8 eyes watching you, and now 8 legs coming right for you. You know what you need? 5 stars. Not like throwing stars, although to be fair, you'd use just about anything to kill that dastardly shower spider. All you need is a 5-star service plan from Steve's Pest Control. Steve scares the life out of pests. Oh, who are we kidding? Steve and his team don't scare them, they kill them. All of them. And because your fear of spiders, wasps, termites, and other insects is very real, Steve's is here to let you know that he and his team are real too. They're not some corporate conglomerate. They're legendary, local, and 100% real.
Hi, I'm Steve with Steve's Pest Control. We're going to solve your pest problem. I guarantee it.
Now you got a friend in the pest control business. Steve's Pest Control.
Welcome to every gym in January. Membership prices, crazy high. Crowds, even worse. All just to wait in line for a bench. Or, hear me out, you could build your own home gym from Play It Again Sports. Free weights, dumbbells, plates, treadmills, ellipticals, benches, racks, and more. New and used. At prices that don't feel like a crime. No crowds, no monthly fees, no awkward eye contact with Chad curling on the squat rack. Play It Again Sports. Think of them first so you don't finish last. Play It Again Sports, ColumbiaMo.com.
The best local sports talk around on your ride home. You've got The Big Show on KTGR.
Chris Getz, GM for the White Sox.
This is a rough one.
So, Luis Angel Acuna, one of the key pieces that came back to the White Sox in the Luis Robert trade. And Chris Getz trying to talk up his player, saying like, hey, we're really excited about him. But if you're really excited about him, maybe you should know some key things about him. Namely, what side of the plate he hits from.
Yeah.
Luis Angel Acuna is a right-handed hitter, but there were several clips that were all spliced together and put out on social media of Chris Getz in like 4 different settings in like podcasts and interviews referring to this guy as a switch hitter. But he's never had a left-handed at bat ever professionally.
Oh, no.
It's like, seriously, the same song and dance in like 4 different occasions. Oh, yeah, we love Acuna. You know, he's really young. He can play anywhere on the field. He's a switch hitter, got great speed. He's not a switch hitter.
Just going to slide that in there.
Chris Getz has responded to this.
Oh, he did?
Kind of jokingly through Ken Rosenthal. Rosenthal tweeted out, Getz saying, so I probably have been getting carried away describing his versatility. He can play every position on the field. Why does it have to stop there? I called Luis Angel and told him that even though he's just right-handed, we still love him.
All you can do is just power through it. So I guess good for him for having a little bit of a sense of humor about it. But that is like if you're a White Sox fan, are you kind of like, oh, do we trust this guy? Acquires somebody and doesn't even know what hand he hits with or doesn't hit with?
Yeah. My answer is no. I do not trust that guy.
Yeah.
Not one bit. I think the White Sox will remain the White Sox through through all of that. Also, under the bus to this seems there's some real weird stories coming out of the Winter Olympics this year over in Italy. There was a Slovakian man who was arrested. He was wanted in Italy for 16 years for like an alleged string of shop thefts dating all the way back to 2010. He's been wanted in Italy this whole time. It's from Slovakia. This guy wanted to go and see Slovakia play Finland in their opening game of the Olympics in ice hockey. And, well, of course, he got caught because he entered back into the country. They found out where he was. And yeah, sorry, buddy. You don't get to go see the game. You're going to jail. Sorry.
I don't think, look, I get it. It's the Olympics. How great would it get to be to see your team? But I think if you have that situation and you can't go back to the country, you just probably have to eat it and not go. I mean, I guess you'd have to be pretty brazen as an individual to think you could get away with a bunch of shoplifting anyway. But that's another level to go, yeah, they want me. I know I did some stuff that I probably shouldn't have done, but it'll be fine. What are the odds?
Well, he held strong in that sense for 16 years, but then in this year, no, man, it's the Olympics. I gotta go. No, that's not going to work out for you, buddy, unfortunately. And he even missed Slovakia win. That was a big win for Slovakia over Finland, that opening match of their hockey stint. We'll see how that goes. I mean, how about Sean Phillips Jr. last night to make the winning play on both ends for Mizzou when they needed it most to grab a signature win? That was storybook stuff. Well done.
Yeah, that's incredible. And he was right where they needed to be, right on time to secure the biggest win of their season, really, because Florida, Kentucky, absolutely, those are big-time resume boosts. Auburn was a really well-played game last night. To do it on the road against a team that didn't really give anything away to you, that was a really impressive performance, and Phillips came through in the clutch.
Awesome to see. And we'll see how Mizzou tries to build upon that momentum. 3 straight SEC wins. And now I have a chance to make it 4 straight as a bubble team, Texas, comes to town on Saturday. You can keep getting quick thoughts in on that at 875-KTGR. We are running low on time, though, because we got to get you to coverage of Mizzou women's basketball. As the Tigers go and face Tennessee, and Kelly Harper, even though she won't make it about himself or about herself, maybe a chance for a little bit of a revenge win for Mizzou women's basketball at Tennessee. We'll get you the coverage of that at 5:15. We'll preview it a little more coming up next and have the top 5 at 5 as well on The Big Show.
My name is Taylor, and I have had insurance with Phyllis Nichols and her team for over 9 years. A auto claim came when my wife was rear-ended. Everyone was safe, but that left a lot of cosmetic damage on her brand new car. We called Phyllis, said, hey, this is what happened, and she's made it a very streamlined process. Phyllis lined out our rental car and made everything just so easy. And having 3 kids and losing a vehicle is a big deal, but Phyllis went to bat for us, got everything lined out, and made it a very easy process.
And now the doggy dedication with Kretsch's Custom Exteriors. This week's letter comes from Coco in Colombia. Coco writes, Dear Kretsch's, my human's been whizzing off his new deck nonstop. I've never seen him so happy. But while he's making salty lemon snow cones, I don't have a place to pee of my own. If I had a wood fence to whiz on, I could unleash my freedom stream from a 3-legged lean. Well, Coco, Kretsch's Custom Exteriors can build you that fence to splatter your bladder. Kretsch's Custom Exteriors. True beauty is on the outside.
As we get into the heart of basketball season, 1851 Underground Tap and Grill wants to remind you, whether you need a place to grab a bite after a local high school or college game, or you want to plop down with some friends and watch some of that college conference action on TV, they've got a spot for you. Your favorite cold beer or cocktail and delicious appetizer or dinner options on the menu. Check them out on Facebook or at 1851underground.com. It's no secret that it is underground. 1851 Underground Tap and Grill in the historic Brick District, downtown Fulton.
Step into a real-life snow globe with Zimmer Communications and Colette Travel on this 9-day European vacation. Stroll Prague, Dresden, Vienna, and Budapest. From castles and cathedrals to twinkling market stalls. Sip warm Glühwein, shop handcrafted gifts, and even visit a family-run candy workshop. Learn more by joining us in Colette Travel Tuesday, March 17th at 5:30 at Courtyard Marriott Columbia on Lamone Industrial Boulevard. RSVP today at ZimmerCommunications.com.
KTGR AM Columbia, KTGR FM Fulton Columbia, K286CL Columbia, in Missouri's total sports station. KTGR Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. The U.S. men's Olympic hockey team won its first preliminary round game with a 5-1 victory over Latvia. 2 goals for Brock Nelson, 3 assists for Jack Hughes. North Carolina forward Caleb Wilson, a projected top 5 pick in June's NBA draft, out indefinitely with a fractured left hand. Fueled in part by the spending by the 2-time defending World Series champion Dodgers, MLB owners are making a massive push at the owners' meetings in Florida for a salary cap in the next labor deal. Commissioner Rob Manfred.
I think great teams are always good for baseball. I think with respect to this particular great team, it added to, what we have been hearing from fans in a lot of markets for a long time about the competitiveness of the game. But, great teams are always good for baseball.
Current CBA expires in the fall after the World Series. Lakers point guard Luka Doncic hamstring strain out of 4th straight game tonight versus the Mavericks. Dallas rookie Cooper Flagg left midfoot sprain out tonight, and for the NBA Rising Stars game tomorrow, 9 Eastern, ESPN Radio.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance flexes to fit your business's needs. From quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options, Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
From Faro.
15 to the 10, to the house.
Bush.
Back to the wall, and it's got her.
And Arrowhead.
Touchdown! Kansas City.
To your speakers.
This is the big show, baby.
Get fresh takes on the biggest sports stories in mid-Missouri. Right now, this is The Big Show with Andy and Brendan on KTGR.
Second hour here on The Big Show, and be sure to get your reaction in now to Mizzou basketball. Not a whole lot of time to get it in because we got to get you to Mizzou women's basketball as they try for an upset bid tonight at number 22, Tennessee. We'll give a little preview of that, and if Kelly Harper can get a win at her alma mater. Coverage will begin at 5:15. So, again, be sure to call or text us at 875-KTGR real quickly to join us for the conversation. But first, before any of that, it's 5 o'clock.
It's time for the Top 5 at 5 on The Big Show. Number 1.
If you want to trade away for curtain number 1, you can have curtain 1.
What a win from Mizzou men's basketball last night. 86-85. They topped Texas A&M down in College Station. Sean Phillips Jr., the hero of the final couple of possessions. Great play drawn up by Dennis Gates on the inbounds, and they executed it to perfection. Phillips with the dunk, really uncontested because of how well the Tigers ran the play. And then on the other end, even though there was a moment where it looked like the Tigers got to stop, but then somehow A&M was granted a timeout, even though they didn't have possession. Yeah, SEC refs. Sean Phillips got to stop on the ensuing play at the rim against A&M's top guy, so he gets the score and the block. Great game, by the way, too, from Trent Pierce. This was a win for the Tigers that really opens up the ceiling heading into a big one on Saturday night against Texas at Mizzou Arena.
Number 2.
Number 2, your timing is impeccable.
Could it be another big win for Mizzou Hoops tonight as the women return to Knoxville for Kelly Harper? Number 22, Tennessee. You can hear it tonight on KTGR with coverage beginning at 5:15, so coming up soon for that 5:30 tip. The Tigers had a 4-game winning streak snapped by Georgia over the weekend, so they're looking to get back into the win column in a game that will certainly carry some extra personal meaning for the head coach, Harper. Coached the Lady Vols from 2019 to 2024.
Number 3.
There's Jordan for 3. Yes!
Heim Bloom gave some injury updates this morning in Jupiter. Of note, Lars Newbar will be a bit delayed in getting to Cards camp this year, just by a couple of days, and not due to a setback as he rehabs from offseason surgery on his heels. The Cardinals just don't have the altered gravity treadmill he's training on out in Southern California because their new facilities are still getting up and running after a ton of construction to get it ready. Still unknown whether Nuke will be ready for opening day. In other Cards news, Ivan Herrera announced he won't be able to play for Panama in the World Baseball Classic as he couldn't get the insurance necessary after having off-season elbow surgery.
Number 4.
Oh, shanked it.
There was some question about Jordan Bennington and whether or not he would be the guy to go to for the Canadian team in the Olympics. Well, this morning he got a shutout of the Czechia squad, 5-0 Canada with the early round win. Yeah, looks like everything's going just fine for Jordan Bennington, standing on his head in a big game. Yeah, we've seen that before.
Number 5.
What did the 5 fingers say to the face? Slap!
Not really 100% sure what's going on with this, but I'm reading Pete Thamel's timeline right now, and it seems like the judge in the Trinidad Chambliss case is presently reading his decision. 21 minutes ago, Thamel tweeted that was happening, but still no official resolution. They're really spending a lot of time talking about this, but I guess we'll see if the last gasp should work.
That's The Big Show's Top 5 at 5 on KTGR.
875-KTGR if you want to call or text us. And not to undermine Thamel, he's awesome at this, obviously. I am reading Ross Dellinger, though.
Uh-oh.
And it seems that this actually might be going Chambliss's way.
Yeah, it might be.
This is according to Dellinger. Based on Judge Robert Whitwell's order, which he is reading live in the courtroom, he plans to grant Trinidad Chambliss injunction. However, he has not specifically revealed the decision. To give you an idea of the situation, the NCAA's counsel has already left the courtroom. He goes on. The judge says that the NCAA ignored evidence from Ferris State over Chambliss's illness in 2022, and the court finds that he was clearly physically unfit that season to play college football. The decision has not been read, but it is quite clear.
Yeah, Thamel tweeted, quote, "It's clear that Trinidad Chambliss was not a healthy young man from the senior year of high school through 2022, but nothing official yet." So, like, he's talking, but everything he's saying seems to indicate that maybe he's going to be back.
Yeah.
What do we think about that? I mean, it's a team Mizzou plays next year, for one.
It is. Austin Simmons versus Trinidad Chambliss. How about that?
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
With Caden Lee on our side, right? Those papers have been signed.
They're signed, yes. Roland's cool. Yeah, we're good. Good
Just
there.
making sure.
Yeah. That's
because that
that's
would
all
be
kosher.
that would be a bummer. By the way, I don't know if we ever followed up on this. I think we did. Horatio Fields, did he land with Ole Miss ultimately?
Yeah.
So they kind of just traded places, which that adds a little bit of intrigue as well to that matchup where I think once Caden Lee signed, Fields was like, okay, there's a spot open there and they want me. They probably called him pretty quick and tampered their way through that. I guess it doesn't really matter. I don't know if did he sign? I guess he did sign, but then Mizzou let him out of it.
Yeah.
Whatever. They clearly knew what they wanted. They wanted Caden Lee, and so we'll see the way that plays out. But yeah, Chambliss, I don't know. Like a lot of these cases when we're talking about all the eligibility and guys never run out of eligibility. In this case, it maybe does feel like a little punitive that they wouldn't have just gone ahead and granted it to Chambliss because of kind of the extenuating circumstances relative. Like every day on my Twitter timeline, I see something pop up about so-and-so from Montana is getting his 9th year. It's why are we so inconsistent? I don't get it.
That one is wild. I didn't even look to see how it got to that point. But I mean, for Chambliss, I think it's pretty cut and dry. Red shirt first year, 2021, and this year in question was 2022, where the NCAA, according to the judge here, ignored the evidence. I think what also came out was that Chambliss was told by his coach at Ferris State, yeah, you're medically redshirting. So I mean, he didn't start playing college football really until 2023. And so, yeah, you get your 4 years.
3, 4, 5, 6.
There you go. So there it is.
A lot of times it's like guys are trying to get their 7th year, and this guy's not played for more than the length of time that would normally be allotted anyway. So I don't have a huge problem with it. As a Mizzou fan, I wish he wasn't because I think he's really good, and I don't want to play against him.
Right,
but
yeah.
It is what it is. This is the SEC. We don't have to hide from anything.
There you go. See, we'll be looking forward to that matchup, of course. Trinidad Chambliss versus Austin Simmons. 875 KTGR. Get hyped for football season, obviously. Get hyped for hoop season. Reason to be. Get your thoughts in on Mizzou's big win last night in men's hoops. And maybe tonight. What?
We're going to get to it. But on the Chambliss thing, wrapping this up, Trey Wallace tweeted this out. Judge Whitwell just went after the NCAA's attorneys in Trinidad Chambliss case for leaving before he was handing down the ruling, mentioning that he guesses they were headed to Knoxville for the Joey Aguilar case. Said he will discuss holding them being in contempt of court. So
that's a shot across the bow, boy.
The lawyers the judge is not happy with the lawyers for all that.
Yeah, that is not a great situation for them. All right, tonight, Mizzou women's hoops at number 22 Tennessee. And when Kelly Harper had her press conference earlier in the week, didn't want to make it about herself, wanted to make it about her team, obviously, what they can accomplish, not about what she's trying to accomplish or try to show to her former school, where as a player, she won multiple national championships. As a coach, she was, I think, by objective standards, very successful, went to multiple Sweet 16s, but Tennessee said, still not good enough, and they fired her anyway. Like, if I were me, I'm a worse person than Kelly Harper is. If it were me, I'd have a little extra something in my stomach, be like, man, I need to beat these people. But she's approaching it the right way, I'm sure. Mizzou's, I don't know if they're going to have Jordana Reisman again tonight. They've been a little bit lacking without her, especially size-wise. They might have to make up for that a little bit more against this Tennessee team. But again, get a win that nobody expects you to get. That's what I'm looking for the rest of the Mizzou women's basketball season. They're going to have ample chances to do that here down the stretch.
Yep, and this is one where, you're going on the road to a ranked opponent. And so on paper, it's a tall task, but I'm sure that her team, Kelly Harper's team, is aware. And as much as she is going to approach it diplomatically, I bet her players are going to have a little bit of extra juice to try and put together a good performance for their coach. And again, I don't know what the point spread is. I'm sure Mizzou would be a heavy underdog, but there's an opportunity here for sure to make it 2 shocking underdog wins in consecutive nights for Mizzou basketball. That'd be a lot of fun, and we'll see whether they can pull it off here.
It comes your way next. Mizzou Women's Hoops at number 22 Tennessee. Brad Trinago and Kathy Wiesen on the call tonight. Be sure to tune in for reaction to that tomorrow and more talk about Mizzou and Texas hoops on Saturday. Be sure to join us at 4 o'clock tomorrow. He's Brendan. I'm Andy. We're done for now.